My family has been here for generations. My mother and my grandmother, they actually lived in Hard Bargain when they were younger. So, a lot of people, a lot of older people here in Hard Bargain remember, my mom when she was my age or what have you.
Well, I've been in the Hard Bargain area all my life. Lived with my mother and basically in the same house that I just grew up in.
The Hard Bargain neighborhood was bought in the late 1800s by a freed slave who bought the property, who later subdivided it into a neighborhood. And the families that settled there are the people who built Franklin, the people who were the stonemasons, who built the beautiful bricks and the homes and the Main Street buildings.
My mother did domestic work, and she bought that house doing domestic work. When I was growing up, the neighborhood was an older generation, and it was a community. The community reared the kids. You had a mother every place. You had somebody that was always making sure that you were doing the right thing, and if you weren't, the word got back to your house before you got back there.
Franklin has seen tremendous economic growth in the last 20 years. But for many members of the Hard Bargain neighborhood, this growth comes as a mixed blessing.
One of the things that's been problematic has been people that have been here for generations, like in the Hard Bargain neighborhood, for example, can no longer afford to live here because the home prices are so expensive.
I actually had tried to find a home here in Franklin. I tried it for a couple of years. I gave up because I couldn't find anything here in Franklin in my price range.
Economic pressure has forced many families to abandon their roots in the Hard Bargain neighborhood. Seeing this trend, a group of caring individuals began asking how they might preserve this community.
Well, I got involved with Hard Bargain through a group called the Empty Hands Fellowship. And there was one of the members that lived across the street from a retired school teacher in Franklin who her house was falling into disrepair. And so the Empty Hands Fellowship did some service projects on her home, helping put a new roof and do different various repairs. Through that, the seeds of Hard Bargain Mountain Hope Redevelopment were planted, and instead of thinking about helping one house, grew to a whole neighborhood renewal program. We do three things with Hard Bargain Mountain Hope Redevelopment. We build new homes that are period sensitive architecturally to the original history of the neighborhood. Then we also do repair and renovation of existing homes. And then we do beautification within the neighborhood.
It's exciting to see the Mount Hope redevelopment. This project, something that really is substantial, building something that will last, and then having an impact in the community.
We are a grassroots organization, and that it's people from the neighborhood coming together with other folks in Franklin that care about the renewal and revitalization of this neighborhood, and that we're working together, and that really all the vision and mission and the goals of what we do are driven by what the residents of the neighborhood want.
By partnering with compassionate donors and volunteers, Hard Bargain Mount Hope Redevelopment is making a long-term investment in the future of Franklin. They provide affordable home ownership and renovation options for families that might otherwise be forced to leave.
My sons and I, we used to ride around in the mornings on the way to school and just look at the different homes or whatever. And so one day we came down Green Street. The foundation was just being built on this house. And they said, "Oh, Mom, that's going to be a nice house for somebody."
We sell our houses below market value to make it affordable for families who have lived in the neighborhood for generations to be able to stay there.
About 2 days later, Teresa from Gap called and said that Hard Bargain Mount Hope was building a home on Green Street, and I was the next person in line, and if I wanted to get the home, that it could be mine.
One of the first lines of our mission statement is to impact lives and to preserve history. And so we're impacting lives with people like Shanita, giving her the opportunity to purchase a home that otherwise she wouldn't have been able to buy. And that we're offering her a hand up and not a handout.
I never thought that I would be able to own a home here in Franklin, and that my kids would be able to be raised in a home that I own here in Franklin. I'm very proud to have a home here in Hard Bargain. The way I feel, I don't even think words can explain how I feel. Just to feel the love of all the people, here in Hard Bargain, it's just awesome to be able to own a home here in Hard Bargain.